Now let's talk about a guy that over the past couple weeks has blown onto the scene as a big time playmaker. And that guy I'm talking about is going to be Sione Baki. Sione Baki has started playing running back on offense, however you want to look at it, kind of like a running back weapon sort of deal. Let's talk about it. Sione Baki, when he's on offense, looks like the best freaking player on the field. He is slicing and dicing through defenders. He looks physical. He looks fast. He looks mean. He looks angry. And he looks like a guy that can really, really move the needle for Utah. If you guys think Utah doesn't have an offense still, you guys were not watching against USC. You were not watching against Cal. You did not see what Sione Baki was able to do against those two teams. Just to give you guys an idea, in those two games, he had 370 total yards with 4 touchdowns. So he provided 2 touchdowns per game and 370 yards, 185 yards per game for Baki. And it doesn't look like he's getting worse. It looks like he's continuing to get better. He is a straight animal stud. He is a guy that I think the ceiling is so freaking high, guys. Let's talk about his actual performance against USC. 9 carries for 68 yards. That's 7.6 yards per carry. He also had 5 receptions for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. Guys, what does that mean? That means Baki touched the ball 14 times and went for 200 plus yards. The total, the exact number is going to be 68 plus 149. Divide that by 14. So every time Baki touched the ball, he was getting 15.5 yards. Think about that, guys. We're not even using him as a full-time offensive player. If you guys aren't hardcore like me, you might not know Baki is a very good safety for this team. Right now, he's playing both sides of the ball, and he has just been a utility, Swiss Army knife for Utah. Just put him where you need him to go, and he is going to find a way to make plays and make things happen. Baki is headed for a season that could be really, really special, guys. That play where he caught that little pass over the middle, he just stops dead in his tracks, turns around, gets to the corner, and gets a touchdown against USC. Just jukes a bunch of guys out of their shoes. Baki looks so freaking impressive. And doing all this, plus being one of the better safeties in the country on defense, I've seen it thrown around a lot. The Heisman potential. I know that sounds wild, the Heisman potential. But seriously think about it, guys. He still needs to keep doing it, right? It needs to be a week in, week out. Very impressive resume so far, but it needs to continue at the same trajectory. But if he does, I mean, who's to say he's not the guy, right? Who's to say he's not winning the Heisman? If he can continue what he's doing right now, he's tracking for over 1,000 yards on offense and being a starting safety and one of the better safeties in college football. How could you possibly say that Baki will not be the Heisman with any certainty? I think there's a long road to go, but I really do think there's a good chance that Baki could be the Heisman. So just so you guys know, we'll kind of end on Baki here, but a guy that is ridiculously high levels of impressiveness over these past couple weeks. And I'm excited to just ride this train and see how far it goes with him. I thought week 1, Cal was a flash in the pan. I am a believer, right? I am a believer, and I think Baki is about to be one of the most dynamic weapons in all of college football. He already is in my eyes.